there's nothing really to do in Gloucester. Like I was with my friend the other night, we're like, oh, what should we do? And we're like, oh, let's go to the cinema. And that was it, that's all you could really do in the evenings if you didn't want to go to Liquid or Interaction.
Just make Gloucester a better place, really, make it a bit more attractive, isn't it? Because it's a bit dull and boring.
I know people from Cheltenham and places around Gloucester feel very threatened by Gloucester, and they do stay far away from it, probably because they haven't experienced it enough. But they do, I think it does give off that feeling, doesn't it, of unsafeness.
Well, it's not a regular theatre, and you can just say, let's go to the theatre. You've got to go out of town to do that.
There's nowhere nice to go out and eat, really, in Gloucester. There's not very many nice, classy bars to just have a drink with your friends.
There's loads of places to buy drinks and stuff, because whilst it's hot and you go out and you're shopping like all day and you want to go and have a drink and have food.
Yeah, there's loads of snack places as well, and coffee bars. There's like lots of those.
Yes.
The Peel Centre, that's horrendous.
Yeah.
That looks awful. And like, just the fact that the cinema's really out of town, I think that's quite bad as well.
At night, it's okay. I mean, there's loads of clubs and stuff around, but not that we can get into any of them.
There's a nightclub that we go to and
yes.
things like that. They open them up for the younger children.
There's two. There's one Interaction and Crackers, and it depends what sort of music you're into, because R&B and stuff like that and dance music is Interaction. But if you're into rock and things, then Crackers is better.
Yeah.
Nightlife in Gloucester is not an enjoyable place to be. It's not somewhere you can really enjoy soberly. You'd have to be drunk to enjoy yourself in Gloucester, really.
The newer buildings, like the things that were built in the 70s and stuff, that just look horrendous and do give Gloucester a bit of a bad name.
Like that square there, instead of just having it concrete, why not have some nice grass, nice flowers, something someone can appreciate a lot more.
Firstly, I'd like to see the King Square develop so it could be a place where people can meet and perhaps have concerts and social events, rather than just a piece of concrete like it is now with some sort of waste paper bins.
I can appreciate what they've done to King Square, but I think.
But what have they done?
What have they done and put some concrete on it? To be honest, I think it looks horrendous.
Yeah.
It's just like, they try in Gloucester, I know that they try, but sometimes just don't get it quite right. I mean, we don't need market stalls in the centre of town. It just brings it down, brings Gloucester down, I reckon. It's not picking it up by having loads of market stalls in the centre of town and things like that.
No, it's available there for anything. That you get a lot of marketeers there, which is good for some people. You get a lot of children's games organised there, and there's almost a semi-permanent sort of playground for them, so that it's quite a little jewel, is that, for kids.
Gloucester Docks is such a place where you always say, like, let's go to Gloucester Docks. You know, like if people want to come and visit Gloucester and want to hear about Gloucester, you'd say let's go to the docks. But then you think, well, why? You know, what really is there to show you down at the docks?
Well, I think I would sort of perhaps build a hotel down there where people can stay, and also there again, perhaps build some more cafes where people can sit out. I know there's a couple of pubs, but there's no actual cafes where people go out.
We live in Gloucester, well, we've lived around Gloucester for years, and we always come here because it's quite easy to get to, and it's certainly easy for us to just come and walk around. I really like it. Yeah.
The fact is it has a lot of history, and they like to see what went on in the olden days and put the clock back somewhat.
I'm at uni in Birmingham, and like coming back to Gloucester, you do realise that there are actually a hell of a lot of nice buildings around, and it's not quite as bad as you originally thought.
I just love all the old-fashioned buildings and all the shapes and stuff, because it just reminds you what it used to be like.
You know, you can feel the history in Gloucester. But you can't see it. When you look around you, you know, maybe you can see a nice, beautiful old medieval stone church, something like that. But a lot of the older buildings are kind of masked by the shop fronts.
Shops are okay. It'd be nice if it'd be a bit more, because some of them are a bit gotty, aren't they? So they could be a bit more better looking wise, you know. Like Cheltenham, they got nice posh shops, and where we haven't got things like that.
If you start with the buildings, you might get people to improve.
Look around and it's not a really horrible city, but it is shops like that do bring it down.
This is the first place we'll shop, and then it'll be Cheltenham if we can be bothered to drive that far.
There's a lot of shops and there's loads of different types of shops.
And they're always opening new ones and stuff, so it's really good for that.
And they're open late around Christmas, which is great.
It's great to have new modern buildings and things, but if they could keep a little bit of its history, then I think that's a really important thing.
I'm quite a big fan of like modern architecture because it's something different. I mean,
Yeah.
quite futuristic, quite like that. It's like the Selfridges building in Birmingham.
Yeah, I
like
like that as well, with the bubbles on the outside.
Yeah.
But it's just somewhere that I just really like. I like the atmosphere, and it's nice and big, and I mean, what's Cheltenham got that this hasn't?